Well, what's up, everybody? Cruiser Bruiser here. It's been a while since I've made a video. Figured I'd get out and show you guys what I've been up to, or at least tell you guys what I've been up to. Can't really show you. I mean, I can show you this. Ha ha ha! Got a 2023 Rebel 1100. Man, it is fucking windy today. I don't know how this audio is gonna sound, so hopefully it sounds good. But anyway, I sold the Sportster, so I no longer have a Sportster. So, cop. Screw you, cop! Anyway, yeah, I sold the Sportster. Yeah, it's just, I'm getting old. It's starting to hurt my back a lot. It just wasn't comfortable to ride anymore. I loved it. It was a great bike. Had it for 7-8 years. It's a very, very fun bike. Loved the hell out of it, but it just wasn't feasible to keep it anymore. It wasn't benefiting. It was basically just sitting around most of the time. Not really ever riding it. Ride my Dyna for the most part almost all the time now, so I ended up selling the Sportster and getting this. Teaching my wife to ride. She's doing pretty good so far. Already getting up to shifting into second gear. We're going actually right now to a parking lot so she can practice her figure eights and things like that, get her slow maneuvers. Basically all the basic MSF course stuff. We're gonna go ahead and do some of that today. I think the closest MSF course is something like August or something like that. Yeah, it's quite a ways away. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get her moving forward with some MSF stuff. Whee! But this thing, 2023 Rebel 1100, Jesus Christ, this thing's fast. It's quick. I mean, by all means, it's not a sport bike, obviously. It's more like a naked bike, because it's not a cruiser, not a sport bike. They call it a cruiser, but it's more of a naked bike. But yeah, I'm loving it. I mean, she'll be riding it for the most part once she's licensed, like fully licensed and all that kind of stuff, and she knows how to ride. And I'll be on the Dyna for the most part. And of course, we'll switch. I'll let her ride the Dyna, and I'll ride this every now and then, just because this thing's just fine. And like I said, I am gonna miss it. I love my Sportster. It was a great bike, but it went to a good home. Listed it on Marketplace, sold it within about a week and a half-ish. And during the time while I was waiting for it to sell, we were keeping an eye out for 1100s because they are almost impossible to find in a manual. They're all the DCT, the automatics, and neither of us wanted an automatic. She was thinking about it just because it would be easier to learn on, but then again, it's kind of hurting you in a way by learning on an automatic, because if you ever do decide to, I don't know, if she wanted to ride the Dyna one day, she would have no clue what she was doing because she's not used to riding a manual transmission motorcycle. So if you're only learning how to ride just on the automatic and that's all you ever ride, yeah, if it's your thing and that's all you plan on ever riding, then yeah, that's great. But if there's ever a time where you need to ride something else other than an automatic, then you're not going to know what you're doing. So I'd suggest, even if you are going to ride an automatic, at least learn how to ride on a manual as well. But yeah, we're going to go into this high school over here, into the parking lot, and see if there's enough room to get her riding around. She's doing great in straight line stuff. There's this factory across the road from our house where it's got a big empty lot. Well, not really an empty lot, but an empty road. The lot's like covered in gravel, so it's, you know, almost impossible to learn how to ride on that. But yeah, she's got her back and forth, shifting, all that kind of stuff. Her duck waddle U-turns are doing great. I just got to get her into doing the figure eights while keeping her feet up, dragging the rear brake. You know, teach her how to slow maneuver basically. And after she gets that, I mean, she's pretty much ready to get out on the road. She does have to go back to the DMV and get her permit again, because her permit expired like a few years ago, because she never did really ride when she had it. Because yeah, when she was married to her ex, she had a permit and never really rode, and then never renewed it. So that's expired. So we got to renew her permit, get her to do her paper test and all that kind of stuff, or computer test, and get her permit. And then whenever the next MSF course opens up, sign her up and get her learning, get her fully licensed. So yeah, we're gonna pull into here, and this is Lafayette High School. So if you know anything about Lafayette, meth redneck capital. Oh yeah, there's not much going on here right now. There's plenty of room. Look at the goats. Goats! Oh shit, that was a bigger bump than I thought it was. Goats! I'll just go over this. Make my own road. Alright everybody, we're back. She did great. She basically just practiced going around in the circles. Let me put this thing back in sport mode because she keeps it in rain mode. Put it back into sport. Alright, let's roll. Ow. Yeah, stretch my legs. So yeah, leaving the high school parking lot out here. She's doing great so far. I mean, she got it up to like 33 miles an hour. Miles per hour? Miles an hour? However you say that, I don't know. Kilometers per hour. No, but she's doing great so far. I mean, shit. Most of the practice she's had so far up until now has just been in a back road at a factory, and it was just basically her just riding back and forth, practicing getting into second gear, basically doing like duck waddle U-turns, things like that. And she was doing pretty good at those. So I mean, I knew she'd do good out here because obviously the riding quicker is a little easier for new riders than the slow maneuvers are. So I knew she'd do pretty good already. But I mean, the only other things really that she needs to practice and get good at to be able to ace the MSF course without really even trying, which I mean, you can ace it anyway, but it always helps to have some experience before you go, just because it's going to make it easier. Like, you already know the basics, you already know how to handle a motorcycle. It's going to make it much easier when you do your MSF course. So that helps a lot. I mean, I was the same way. I had ridden for, I don't know, several months before I did my MSF course, and it was easily one of the easiest things I had ever done in my life, because I mean, I already knew what I was doing. Even the instructors were kind of like, yeah, I mean, you could have just taken just the DMV test and been fine, but I wanted the insurance breaks. I wanted the I just wanted the extra learning anyway, just because it never hurts to know more. It never hurts to learn more. I'm actually thinking about not redoing the MSF course, because that's the beginner's course, but they also do an advanced rider's course, like an intermediate and advanced rider's course. I'm thinking about taking those just because I mean, there's always more you can learn. It doesn't matter if you've been riding 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, it doesn't matter. There's always more that you can learn. It's a never-ending educational class. Like, you can literally learn anything, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, she's doing great. She had her practicing some figure eights. She's a little nervous with those, and rightfully slow. I mean, most new riders are nervous with slow maneuvers, doing U-turns and figure eights. So I mean, that's understandable. I should have gone down York Road. I haven't been down there forever, because I actually used to live there as a kid. I grew up in Atlanta, but then I moved up. We lived in every city and county from Atlanta up to pretty much Chattanooga, which is where I'm currently in the outskirts of now. But yeah, I mean, she's doing fantastic. Better than I thought she'd be doing at this point. Because I mean, she's only had like an hour or so here or there to practice, and usually when you practice for like maybe an hour and it goes 2 weeks before you practice again, you usually have to relearn some things and things like that. But I mean, she's doing great. She does have to break the habit of being nervous every single time that she starts to ride, every time I take her out, because sitting on the bike, cranking it, and getting going is fine. Like she's aced that 100%. She should be doing that without even thinking about it, because she's done it so many times now that she has that part down. Like there's no reason she should be thinking about that. But she has the habit of every time she starts to go out for a ride, that she's nervous about getting going, and I have to talk her into it. I'm like, hey, you've done this multiple times. You shouldn't be nervous anymore at this point. This is like the 10th time that you've sat on the bike and got rolling and got your feet up, so you should be fine. And usually after about a minute or two of that, she's good. She just has to get going, and then once she gets going, she's sitting there thinking like, well, why the hell did I take so long to get going? Like, I wasted 10 minutes that I could have been practicing something else. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those new rider things that, some new riders are just scared of certain things. So, like with me, it was U-turns when I started riding. I dumped my my Honda Shadow Aero, I don't know, like 2 or 3 times while learning how to ride it, doing U-turns, and not really knowing that you're not supposed to grab the front brake whenever you're doing a U-turn. So I learned the hard way. So I was able to, obviously teach her my mistakes, like, hey, don't do this. And so far, fingers crossed, knock on wood, she has yet to drop the bike. I was teaching her some obstacle avoidance and quick stopping the other day. So I stood in the middle of the road that we were practicing on. It's a little bit like back road, dead end road. I stood in the middle of the road and said, hey, whenever you get close to me, try to get at least up to about 15 miles per hour. Whenever you get close to me, I'm going to raise one of my hands. That's the way you need to swerve. She was doing that perfectly, and then I was like, all right, now I'm going to add in to where I'm going to tell you to stop. I'll hold both my hands up in a fist, and that means stop. So the next few turns, I had her swerve, just kind of keep her on her toes, because obviously you don't know when something's going to run out in front of you, so you're not prepared. The anticipation is something that will get you failed in the MSF course. But the first time I threw my hands up to make her stop, she panic braked. Grabbed that front brake too hard, and it dipped the front end down, and she kind of leaned it a little bit, didn't drop it, but kind of leaned it a little bit. And that's a good, valuable learning lesson right there. Was the name of that road Who Cares? ADD moment. I think the name of that road was Who Cares Drive. Anyway. But yeah, she, that was a good learning moment for her, grabbing that front brake. And I told her, I was like, see, you grab that front brake too hard, you panic, you're going to go down. So you need to practice using 2 fingers on your brake and slowly applying the brake. You have your rear brake to work with too. Rear brake is what, 30%, 25-30%. The front brake is 70%. And I told her, I was like, see, you just want to get 2 fingers, slowly apply the brake. Like, you don't need to slam on it. So she learned that pretty quickly. And she was doing fine after that. She had a couple of more emergency stops that I had her do, and she was doing fine. So it's just one of those things that you just got to learn by doing it. It's just, as Ricky would say, it's denial and error. But yeah, she's doing great. So hopefully soon, here in the next few weeks, once she goes and redoes her permit test and gets her permit, dead deer and all the vultures are eating it. But once she gets her permit and all that kind of stuff, then we can, go out and do either some dual vlogs, or hell, do some vlogs with her riding in front of me, because I'm going to have her lead the way. Because if you're ever teaching anyone how to ride a motorcycle, they're new, let them lead, let them set the pace. Because, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. I've been riding for a long time. On the road for about 9 years now, which isn't that long, but still 9 years on the road. But I've been riding dirt bikes and four-wheelers and everything almost my entire life. But obviously 9 years is more than a brand new rider. And I'm used to riding the way I ride. And if I ride the way I ride, I'm going to leave her behind, or I'm going to get her hurt, because she's going to be trying to keep up with me and she's going to end up getting hurt. So you always let the new rider lead. Let them set the pace. I told her, don't worry about it if cars come up on you and you're not going fast enough. Just pull to the side, wave them around you. It doesn't matter. It's not going to kill that person. But what will kill a person is by you thinking that you need to go way faster than you're comfortable going because someone behind you riding your ass. That will kill someone, and it's probably going to be you. So yeah, let them lead. So we'll go out on some rides. I'll do some vlogging, let her lead, do some trips. That's the main thing, you know, we're looking forward to, is being able to go on trips. Like right now we drive the Mustang. I don't know if you saw the green Mustang whenever we were leaving the school. That's my Mustang there. We take it on trips and stuff. We'll go up in the mountains and things like that, but it's not the same as taking a motorcycle up into the mountains. It's not the same as the experience of seeing these sights and views and visiting places on a motorcycle. It's just, nothing compares to it. You could do it in a car, you could do it in a convertible, you could do it in anything else. It's not the same as doing it in a motorcycle, or on a motorcycle. In a motorcycle would be weird. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Ducks. Ducks are crossing the road. Where's my bright lights on this thing? I hope that those ducks don't get run over by a chicken truck. That would be fucking that would be weird. Speaking of, you know, get back on track with the Rebel here. You know, as I mentioned, it's 2023 Rebel 1100. It was a pain in the ass. Not necessarily. We kind of got lucky, but then again, it kind of was a pain in the ass at the same time, because if you know anything about the Rebel 1100s right now, they are literally impossible to find, and that's due to production levels being low, plus the high demand of these bikes. These bikes are selling like hotcakes. As soon as they hit the sales room floor, they are gone, like immediately. So we went to the Honda dealership in Chattanooga, which is Honda Powersports. I'll drop a link in the description for their website there. I dealt with, his name was Bill Spearman. He's a really cool dude. So if you're ever in the Chattanooga area and you want a Honda, go to the Southern Honda Powersports and talk to Bill. Cool dude, he'll hook you up. But yeah, I had sold the Sportster a couple of weeks before we filmed this. And what is that in the road? Oh, it's a dog with a vest on. That's cool. That dog knows what he's doing, I guess. And one thing I will say about this bike, off topic again, my nuts are numb. This is not a very good seat. So we're definitely looking to upgrade the seat for her, because I know if my nuts are going numb, I know she's got some parts down there probably going numb somewhere too. But yeah, we went to the Honda dealership after I sold the Sportster to look for some bikes. We went and checked Kurt's Honda Powersports in Dalton as well, in Dalton, Georgia. The only ones we could find were the DCT models, which is the automatic. Didn't really want an automatic. It's just not something either of us were interested in. So we were like, well, we'll wait. So we talked to Southern Honda Powersports, and they were like, hey, it's been since before Christmas that we've even had one in the showroom floor. And when they did, it was immediately gone, because they had people calling and on waiting lists that they would call and say, hey, you're next in line, come pick it up. Well, they stopped doing that because people were putting down payments on the bikes, and then it would be several months, if not like almost a year, before they'd get one. And the people were getting mad because they're like, hey, I put my money down, I still ain't got one, and you know, I put my money on for an order to hold, and they're, you know, they weren't getting them in. So they stopped doing holds and things like that. And so yeah, we were like, well, we'll keep an eye out. You know, I gave them my information, say, hey, here's my number. If you get any in, or if you get word of getting any in, let me know, because we are ready to get one. Like, we had the money to put basically half the price down on it after I sold the Sportster. And I said, we have the money, we can come in as soon as you have it, because we're ready. And he was like, okay, well, we'll let you know. Well, a week passed, didn't hear anything. Obviously, we weren't planning on hearing anything. We were actually already settling on getting the Rebel 500, because they're everywhere. You can buy those anytime you want, because they're always available. So we had pretty much had decided that we were just going to get the Rebel 500. You know, Leah was like, yeah, which Leah's my wife. She was like, yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and just do the 500. It's cheaper. Once we put the money on it from the Sportster, we're only going to owe like maybe $1,000 on it. Puppy, dog's flying. But yeah, so we were pretty much already, basically just in the spot to where, yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to have to bite the bullet and just get the 500 because I don't think we're going to get an 1100. And she didn't want to wait another year to start riding a motorcycle. So we were like, oh, we'll just get it at 500. You can ride it for, you know, 6 months or however long it takes to get the 1100 in, and then we can just trade it and get you the 1100. So that's what we were basically planning on doing. We had already settled on that. Like, we had already just come to the conclusion that, hey, this is just what it's going to have to be. So we went to the Honda dealer the next week. That was on a Saturday. As soon as we walked in, we're looking around at all the 500s, and Bill Spearman, the salesman, walks up and asks us, you know, hey, how you doing? What can I help you with? Blah, 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 blah. And we're like, yeah, we're thinking about getting the 500 because we were waiting for an 1100, but we just haven't seen you guys have any. He's like, oh, well, we have one right now. I was like, wait, what? Where? And I was like, is it an automatic? And I was like, because I was expecting to be disappointed in him say, yeah, it's just an automatic. It's just a DCT. Well, he's like, no, we have a manual. He's like, we got 3 in this morning. 2 of them have already sold. And this was literally only like a couple hours after the freaking dealership opened. And I was like, really? And I was like, well, yeah, give it, hand it over. So we talked to him about that. And we didn't want to finance through Honda because Honda's, I don't know, their interest rates are a lot higher than my credit union that I financed my Dyna and my Sportster through. So yeah, we ended up, you know, I put $100 down on it. Said, hey, we have X amount of money from the Sportster. We're going to put it down. I was like, what can I do? What can I put on it for you to hold it until I get my financing in order? And he said, well, he's like, we can hold it for a week for $100. And I was like, fucking deal. Gave him a crisp new $100 bill and said, hold this until next week. And it'll probably be even sooner than that by the time I get my financing done, because my bank's pretty quick about working with financing like that. So I contacted my bank within, I think it was 3 days. We had already had everything approved, everything done. Went and picked up the bike that, I wanted to say it was Friday. I believe it was Friday. So we went and picked it up, and Bill was saying, he's like, yeah, he's like, all the other salesmen around here were mad that I was holding it for you because they had people wanting to buy it, and they were all saying, your guy's not going to show up, your guy's not going to show up, and then I showed up. So all the other salesmen were pissed off because Bill got the sale and they didn't. But yeah, it worked out perfect. I mean, we were planning on just having to get the 500 and then wait who knows how long for an 1100. But it worked out perfect. I mean, we couldn't ask for a more perfect timing on that. So now we got this. And, you know, like I said, I sold the Sportster. This is almost half paid off. So, I mean, honestly, it's a pretty good damn deal, especially with it being a 2000 Sportster. It was, I mean, obviously, I mean, you've seen my videos, you know that bike was kind of a beater. It wasn't like in immaculate condition. It ran well. I would trust it to take me to California and back, no problem at all. Ugh, ouch. But it was definitely what a lot of people would consider a beater because it was chopper style. It was still swing arm, but still, I mean, I had done a lot to it. I loved the bike. It was fun. But like I said, it went to a good home. It sold to a guy on Facebook Marketplace that lives near, he actually lives in Gadsden. Yellow Wolf! Anyway, yeah, he lives in Gadsden, which is not far from Birmingham with all the Haints and everything. So he actually knew some of them, and he was planning on. He said he was going to hardtail it, but his wife rides on the back of the bike with him, and she doesn't like riding on a hardtail. So he said he doesn't know for sure if he's going to hardtail it or not. But they rode it away. I'll try to add the video here in this video here. I'll add the clip wherever when they rode it away, where I said bye to her. So the sled is now gone. All right, take it easy. Adios, sled. I'm gonna miss you. I still have the Dyna, which is Scarlet the Harlot. So I still have my Scarlet letter. This one is yet to be named. I have a Guardian Bell that was gifted to me from, I'm not sure where exactly it came from. It's got a unicorn on it. I'm pretty sure my friend Flip gave it to me. Like, he mailed it to me with some other goodies. We were in a chopper club together for a while, and both of us ended up selling our chopper style motorcycles. His was actually a chopper slash bobber. It was actually hardtailed. But we ended up both selling our bikes because we're just getting old and it's too painful to freaking ride them now. I'm 40 years old now and my back is not what it used to be. I mean, I know there's people out there that are 50, 60 years old still riding hardtails and choppers and stuff, but not this guy. It just hurts too freaking bad. So yeah, we sold it, and now here we are. But anyway, I'm almost to the house now, waiting for my wife. She went and got some Mexican food for us, and I'm gonna get home and take me a shower and watch a little TV before work, and probably edit some of this video. So yeah, I look forward to doing some more content for you guys. Most of my content will be on the Rebel, or not on the Rebel, but on the Dyna. But I might also do some on the Rebel as well. Oh yeah. So anyway, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a nice day. But anyway, guys, I figured I'd do a little walk around here after I got to the house. I'm still recording. Yeah, I just got to the house. I figured I'd do a little bit of walk around out here of the Rebel 1100 before it gets a little too dark. Excuse me. But I put the crash bars on there because obviously she's learning to ride. She's going to want to be a little more comfortable there with you know, the ability to drop it if she has to without damaging the bike. So we put those on there for her. Thinking about there's another YouTuber that rides a Honda Rebel 1100 Life of Birch. Him and Quasi-Motard and on the Rebel 11 are pretty much the main three Rebel 1100 vloggers until now. Nah, but I don't have nearly as many subscribers to compete. Not that it's about competition or anything, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll build up a subscriber base with the Rebel 1100 too, and yeah. But most, you know, like I said, mostly I'll be riding the Dyna. But anyway, I digress. Birch put the Burley brand tail light, tag light eliminator thing. It's a little kit that makes it a little more clean. My wife says it looks like Sloth from Ice Age, so she's wanting to put some stickers on there to make it kind of look like Sloth's head, so she may do that. But anyway, that's the Rebel 1100. The food is here, so I'm going to go eat. And again, you know, like I said, don't forget to like and follow and subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Have a nice day.